Vacancy. These were small, black, working class landowners who ended up not being able to come back home because of deficiencies in the road home program. This was also an area of renters, and there was no program at all to help renters come home. So this area here is 80% still blighted and vacant after the storm. The government and the capitalists and the rich people only want to redevelop those parts of the city and of this area that can bring a profit. Across the street where we have 1,500 working class people living in public housing, primarily black women and children, has been totally demolished, and the government has financed a development that the only people who really benefited are the rich developers who were economically attached to Alphonse Jackson, the man who was over HUD at the time. We still have the majority of our neighborhood totally displaced. We, Survivors Village, Mayday, I hope I can say stand, Take Back the Land movement, are now beginning today to start a movement where we intend to initiate a situation where renters or homeowners should go into properties that are owned either by the state through the road home program, such as this property. It's not owned by a private individual, it's owned by the state through the road home program, or bank-owned properties. And we're asking people, be they renters or homesteaders, to physically become a part of this by coming to take over the program, being willing to work to improve it, and with help from us and the rest of the community, take what is now a property just sitting here in a blighted area and turn it into a place where people can live.
Right now, the police will stop everybody from sleeping on the bridge, break people up and stuff every day, morning, wrestle people down. That's how people bring some food to people. Cops come out here and wrestle people down and stuff so you can't stay in the bridge. If you can't stay in the bridge, they're going to give you a warrant at the time, they're going to write you up, you're going to go on jail. And like I told them, they ain't going to bother me. I'm getting out. I ain't scared of the cop and I ain't scared of staying over the bridge. If I ain't got nowhere to go, I'm going to stay here till I find somewhere to stay. But right now,
all right. Yay!
I'm cleaning this place out real good. This will be my home.
Where I live at in the 7th Ward. In my area alone is over 500 blighted properties. And nobody's staying there. Housing Authority gave out X amount of vouchers. And I was at that meeting, talked to Mr. Gilmore. I made a very simple example. If you got 10,000 people are homeless and you only giving out 4,000 vouchers, where are the other 6,000 people going to go at? Simple mathematics.
I think that today is a great sign of hope for the city of New Orleans. We have right now over 50,000 vacant properties in the city of New Orleans, and we have tens of thousands of homeless people. Mike was telling me that New Orleans right now has more homeless people than any city in the country, and we have more vacant houses than any city in the country. And that's where the idea that housing is a human right comes from. That homeless, the people without homes have a human right, an internationally respected human right to housing. And if the government won't give it, then people have a right to take that themselves. A human right is not something you apply for. It's not something the government gives you. It's not something you have to fill out eligibility forms to receive. It is a human right. You're entitled to it as a human. And this is a sign of hope because the people here are doing what the government should be doing, which is matching up the thousands of vacant homes with the thousands of people who need homes.
This scene is being replicated throughout the United States, and that's both scenes. The scene where you have people with no place to live, and the scene where you have places with no people to live in them. And the second scene of matching those two up is happening all over the place as well. So we had this happen in Portland, Oregon, in Sacramento, California, in Toledo, Ohio. This has happened in Madison, Wisconsin. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in Boston, Massachusetts, in St. Petersburg, Florida, in Miami, Florida, of course. So this is happening all over the United States. And people are asserting the human right to housing ourselves.
Why we've been doing 3 days of action. When we started off over at Columbia Park trying to get St. Bernard residents back into their homes, which is now Columbia Park, so it's a different housing development or whatever. And then the next day, we decided to have a tent city, which is sort of a renter support and a renter solidarity action with people who are displaced and people who are homeless, because 1 out of 4 people are still displaced from New Orleans. Even though the numbers are back to normal, it's not the same people who were here before, and this is not the same city. And so today, we're bringing people in, we're having people come home, because we're going to do what the government will not do for us.
All right,
And it's our human right to do so. We know our rights. Thank you.